Welcome to the Flooring Podcast with Mike Harris, the show where we cover new construction, restoration, and everything to do with flooring in commercial construction. Now here's your host, Mike Harris.
Welcome to the Flooring Podcast, all. I'm Mike Harris. We are here today, as usual, at Pod 617 Studios in Westwood, Mass. Thank you to Dave Yaz, our producer, for all he does putting this together. If you want to do your own podcast, you can just visit pod617.com and ask for Dave. Today, we are very happy to have Jamie Lopez from Allegheny Contract here today. Jamie, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning, Mike.
Jamie is an installer. I shouldn't say is an installer. Was an installer. Has been in the flooring business his whole career, and now is running work for Allegheny, a supervisor, running probably 10 jobs at a time, huh?
That's correct.
Jamie, I'm excited about this because in my career at Ardex, I probably spent more time in the field than I did in your office. So I spent more time with your guys in the field and enjoy that more because, working with the tradesmen has been, very beneficial for me and helped me grow as a salesperson, helped me learn as a salesperson, and your team, your group taught me a lot. So I want to appreciate that. So I'm very looking forward to this. Jamie, you are from El Salvador. You are part of the famous Lopez brothers, Jose, Felipe, Aiden. I have done an awful lot of work with that group. Probably the most work with Felipe because he seemed to have always the problem jobs where they needed a lot of prep, but probably as far as volume with Jose, because when Jose was running had your position, he was running, 10, 15 jobs at a time, and some days we saw 2 or 3 jobs at a time. So you have a great flooring legacy and a great flooring family. So that's been great. And I love your family. I love your brothers.
Thank you.
You are one of 11 children, and you came from El Salvador when you were 15. We're going to get into that a little bit, but first let's talk about your history with in the flooring business, how you started, how you got going. I know we had a little non-union situation there that's interesting to talk about. So why don't you talk about, how you got involved in the business?
It was my older brother, Jose, who first got into the union through Circle Floors in Everett. And very quickly, he asked me if I wanted to join the union, and seeing how happy he was with what he was doing, the fact that, he saw an opportunity to learn a trade, not just a job, but rather a career. I said yes, and that's how I came into Circle Floors.
And you worked for Circle for how long? And it seems like, as I'm doing these podcasts, Circle was a big training company for a lot of people coming through this business.
Yes, it was. I only worked for Circle for about 2.5 years.
Yeah.
Great company to work for. Mendy Vesperini, the owner of that company. Mike Vesperini, his son. Awesome people. But after 2.5 years, I liked everything about what I did. But what I wanted was more opportunity. And the ultimate goal from the very beginning was to run work. I would see these old-timers run work, and I admire their efficiency, their leadership, and
that's what you sought to do. That's what your goal was.
I wanted to emulate them and to be like them, even though I was just a kid, basically. Right. But and because I felt that I was not getting enough of that opportunity, I started doing work on my own, and so that I could make money, and have that chance of being in charge.
Sure.
You know, and eventually I made the decision to leave Circle and the union.
Did Jose at the same time leave, or
A little after.
little after? Okay.
Yes. Which I think, looking back, maybe it was a mistake, leaving the benefits that one has in the union, working in a very serious union shop where you have all the equipment, pallet jacks, and whatever else specialized equipment you require to do the job. Going on my own, I was limited in the equipment that I had.
But sometimes you don't realize what you have until it's gone. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sounds like a good learning experience for you.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And eventually, I moved to California.
Oh.
And we had a little company of our own with Jose. But Boston had always been very special to us, and we missed Boston. And so...
Was most of your family still in Boston?
Correct.
Correct, yep.
And so Jose came back first, and I followed.
Yep.
And bounced around a little bit, working for small shops, working for ourselves. And I liked that period because, once again, we were learning a lot on our own.
Yep.
And eventually, we started working for Americo Padina, Rico, as he was called, who was working for Greg Alatorre.
Alatorre is a big name in this industry. That name keeps coming up, huh?
Through a company called Appalachian, which was a non-union shop.
Okay.
And there with Rico, I started getting the opportunity that I wanted. He entrusted me with smaller jobs at first.
To run.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 4 or 5 guys.
Yep.
And eventually was running some serious, good-sized jobs for him.
Yep.
So yeah, that was basically my introduction too.
And it's interesting to hear that you left the union realm for a little more opportunity, came back to the union realm again for a little more opportunity, but like you said, it's a 2 years. You were gone from the union, 2 to 3 year learning experience that made you appreciate the unions. And I've said on the podcast before, like you just mentioned, what does the unions really bring to the table? And it's safety, it's equipment, like you said. When you go on your own, you don't realize how much equipment you need, how much trucks you need, how much warehouse you need, how much office people you need. Safety is such a big issue in the union market, which I really love. And not to mention the full line of benefits you get, but with medical and pension and the things we all need, especially at my age, and not too far behind, but thank God you are far behind. These really come into play. That's great. Now, at what point did you really start moving up in Allegheny and really start breaking out, doing some more bigger work? I know you did that big project in Natick. That
Yes.
was crazy.
That was an awesome project. It was when Minor Perez negotiated the non-union shop joining the union, and all of us becoming union, but still two two shops, if you will, that were both union. And then I started running, once again, more serious work, Cambridge, MIT, Harvard.
That was in the early 2000s?
Yes.
And that's kind of when Boston and Cambridge started to explode a little bit,
Yes.
Yeah, the work really started to develop. Buildings started going up and wide,
Yes. So then Battery Wharf, I think we had like 400,000 square feet of wood.
Yeah.
And massive projects, 3 buildings right on the water.
Right. Those are all condos?
Correct.
Yeah.
Luxury condos.
Luxury condos,
yes. And from there, I went to that job that you mentioned in Natick. Mr. Burke, Jim Burke, picked me up in Boston and brought me over to Natick and says, 500 luxury apartments. And he asked me, Jamie, can we do this in 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Which was
500 luxury apartments?
Yes. Then, amenity spaces,
what was the finished floor going down?
Wood, all wood, different species, different apartments, a massive project. Then
nothing kitty cut. It was all different.
All different. Then,
wow. 500.
And then, you obviously add all of the floor prep that's required on a project like that one.
We got to have floor prep.
I think I had, at a minimum, 2 truckloads that would come every single day, 57 men, guys dedicated only to unloading material and allocating everything to the right locations, the right floors.
Well, if you have two plus truckloads of miscellaneous materials every day, right, you need a crew just for that.
It was a massive operation. But as I have mentioned to you before, I had special forces with me.
Yeah.
Juan Carlos, Felipe,
yeah.
Pinto, extraordinary guys.
Yep.
That,
incredible craftsmen.
Absolutely.
And workers.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting that, Jim Burke was, a great leader of Allegheny in his time, and, his idea to, put this on you, to say, can we do this in 6 weeks, something that probably has never happened before, and you were able to put that together is kudos to you, by the way. Congratulations. This is the biggest compliment Jim could probably give you, is by putting you as the lead guy on that job. And so walk us through that job a little bit. At the beginning of it, you have 500 apartments, 500 luxury condominiums, 60 guys on the job, 2 to 3 truckloads coming in every day. How does that job even start? What do you do?
I don't remember exactly the company that was running that work. I think it was Demio.
Demio, yeah.
Yes. And from the very beginning, they established the protocol to follow the expectations, which I liked a lot.
Yeah.
We are not going to have punch list. We are going to do the work in each apartment, and the superintendent, the quality superintendent, and myself would walk the apartment and make sure that everything was done to expectations.
Yeah.
And then they would lock the door and never come back to that apartment.
Wow.
But from the beginning, what we did is, you had different crews made up of 3 up to 5 guys.
Right, with a different leader in each one, probably, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Getting everybody's input on the job.
Obviously, the floor prep guys were ahead of the rest of the army, and guys doing the rubber underlayment for the wood, for sound mitigation, and then the installers, and then the carpet in the corridors, the amenity spaces. But I think the key was the dedication of everyone in the crew and those leaders.
Right.
That, once we establish what the expectations were, what the protocols to follow, it's almost like that the train was on its tracks, and it was easy.
Wow, it's amazing you say it was easy, because it certainly doesn't sound easy. But the collaboration must have been unbelievable. To be able to get together every morning and have a goal and reach that goal. I can remember being on that job, and you guys were were using Ardex on it, and it was. Well, I guess when you start thinking back now, my role was easy too. It's just when men on the job are willing to learn, willing to do the right thing, going above and beyond. I guess I don't want to say it was easy, but it was easier, let's say, than fighting with people. So the job came out well. Everybody was happy.
Absolutely.
I mean, you get it done in 6 weeks.
We did, and the key was that the spirit of collaboration.
Yep.
I think when it's been my experience that when people are willing to collaborate and cooperate and help each other, that's when magic happens. And difficult things, maybe it's an exaggeration to use the word easy, but at the end of the day, you see people smiling and shaking hands and going home to their families happy.
Right.
And the same thing the following day. You see people coming in to work joyfully, enthusiastically, because there's no toxicity among the crew, jealousy, rivalry, but rather collaboration and cooperation.
Yeah, no, that's a great story. I remember that project, and again, kudos to Jim Burke by trying to setting that goal at 6 weeks. Kudos for him for putting you in charge of that. And again, he knew you could do it. You knew you could do it. It was an amazing project. Congratulations. And that's one of the things I really love about the installers is that you look at that finished floor and it's a work of art. And they take pride in their installation. They take pride in what they do. They take lifelong learning of their trade, of their craft, very seriously. And we appreciate floors more than most people because that's our business, and everywhere we go we look down. Just like at coffee this morning, we walk into the coffee shop, and what do? We look down at the floor and say, oh geez, look at that over there and look at this over here. It's just what we do. But the craftsmen are awesome when they do that, and congratulations to you on that. Let's get to a little bit about you personally. Like you said, you came here when you were 15. And did you speak the language? Did you speak English when you came here?
No, back in those days, especially where I came from. I was born in the mountains of El Salvador. And, even television was local television back then.
Yeah.
So English was not as prevalent as it is today.
Yeah.
Today, English is heard everywhere.
Right.
And so I did not speak English. But when I came, I liked it, and wanted to learn.
Right. And there was 11 of you.
Yes.
Where did you fit in the number?
I'm a middle child, basically.
Middle child, okay. And you came to this country. There's 11 of you. Where did you guys live originally in Boston?
We came to Chelsea.
Came to Chelsea. Big immigrant area. Still is.
Yes.
Still have any family in Chelsea?
Lots.
Lots.
In that whole area. Riviera, East Boston,
Yeah.
Everett.
Yep. Yeah, still, again, still immigrant areas, but, being, regentified or whatever the proper word is, as Boston keeps moving out and getting more expensive. And you're living in Billerica now.
For the last 20 years.
Last 20 years. Nice town. You have a wife. You have a couple of daughters. Why don't you talk about them a little bit?
Yes, my wife, Alicia, we have been married for 29 years.
Congratulations.
I have two daughters, Sophia and Sarah.
Nice.
26, 24. I'm very proud of them, hardworking, responsible young ladies.
Nice. They still living at home, or are they out and about?
They're still living at home.
Okay. It's kind of interesting as we get older in life and our kids are young, and sometimes you hear parents talk about, can't wait for the kids to move out, and then when the time comes where potentially it's time for them to move out, you think, geez, I hope they never move out, and it's that double-edged sword that that people play with. I know you're a big outdoorsman. I see on social media you and your brothers out hiking. You're kind of big hikers, right? Have you done many big hikes around New England, some of the mountains and things, or you guys just head out locally and get out in the fresh air? What's your choice there?
I have always liked the outdoors.
Yeah.
And the mountains and nature. But I think exploring New England and the outdoors, it has been very significant to me. The White Mountains, for example, and even locally.
Yeah.
Walden Pond and its trails, swimming across Walden Pond. A few years ago, my wife and I took on swimming on Walden Pond, sometimes twice, 3 times a week.
Nice.
And it's a small pond, but beautiful. In the White Mountains, I mean, the Presidential Traverse, the Pemi Loop, which is 32 miles.
Wow.
Have done them quite a few times, actually.
Yeah.
The Franconian Arch.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Incredible mountains.
Does it remind you of El Salvador at all?
Very much, but different, because especially in winter, obviously,
right.
Huge differences. Tropical landscapes. Katahdin up in Maine, which is beautiful. But yeah, it's gotten me closer, I think, to New England, and it's made me love this part of the country. Even more from over the years.
Yes.
I continue to
explore.
Yeah, and like it more.
Yeah.
And feel at home.
Right.
Yes.
That's great.
This episode of the Flooring Podcast is sponsored by Latacrete, a global leader in construction solutions. From tile setting materials to concrete floor prep, patching, leveling, and waterproofing. If you're building it, fixing it, or trying to make it actually last, Latacrete's got you covered. For more information, contact Peter McKeon at pfmckeon@latacrete.com. That's PFMCKEON at LATICRETE.com. Latacrete, proven on the job site, trusted around the world.
Let's talk about some of your mentors in this business, people that have inspired you over your nice long career in the flooring business.
So many. You have taught us a lot.
I thank you. Yes.
Many times, coming in early in the morning and coming back in the afternoon.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to double check and just want to make sure everybody's happy with how the day panned out. Yeah, I've done that a few times in my career, no doubt about it. And
your emphasis on learning, on doing things by the book, has been immensely helpful. And many other individuals, Steve Baglioni, Bob Mandel, Jeff Stovall, L, Eddie Cafano.
Yeah.
Mr. Burke, who was, like you said before, always demanding and expecting excellence.
Right.
And always challenging you to do better.
Yeah.
And to grow. It can be very challenging when you have a tall mountain to climb, right? That you have never done so. But when you achieve it, it's actually very satisfying. And the same for jobs that we have never done, and things look more difficult actually from far than they actually are once you really get to doing them.
I totally agree with that statement, and I know Jim was a big proponent of Ardex, and Ardex, as you know, is never the least expensive product on the market. Has a great reputation as being probably the best, products on the market. And sometimes that gets lost in translation from a project manager bidding a project down to the installer installing a project. Never ever have I gone to a job site and talked to an installer and said, yeah, no, that feather finish, I don't like it. They're always saying, yeah, geez, I wish I had feather finish here. It gives them more confidence. They've always had good luck with it. Anything with Ardex in that vein, and Jim had that knowledge to know that it was worth a little more money, because in the long run, we always used to say, what does it cost you to make your floor look perfect? And that's really the goal, was always to make a perfect floor, and you guys did a great job, especially yourself. I want to talk quickly about one little job that I remember. I think it was 2017. You went to Paris, France, and did a job.
I did.
Was that 2017?
I'm pretty sure it was, yes.
I remember getting the phone call from you and saying, Mike, I'm going to Paris, and I want to get Ardex out there. Can you hook me up? And I said, yeah, I can, but I don't think I'm going to get credit for it, but we'll hook you up anyway. And made some phone calls, got you in touch with the Ardex people in France, because Ardex is in probably 60 countries now. But why don't you talk us a little bit about that Paris job and how you got involved?
Well, first of all, thank you for providing us that contact and allowing us to use Ardex up there. It came out like a pool table,
nice,
perfectly level.
Yep.
And it's always a pleasure to work on those floors.
Yeah.
But no, that job I did a small project in Lexington, and the lady for whom I was working, after I finished the job in Lexington, commented that she wanted me to do another job for her. And I said,
sure. Where? Waltham?
Bob Mandel, and he'll make the arrangements. And then when I came to the office, Bob says, do you know where that lady wants you to go and do another job for her? He says,
it's not Waltham?
He says, Paris. Would you be willing to go again? Another challenge. And I said, yes. Feeling a little bit overwhelmed because of the traveling. I'd never been to Europe. Obviously, don't speak French.
Yeah.
But I figure, just like I came here, I can go there and
you put everything in your truck and go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was tricky.
It's a great challenge, yeah.
Yeah. But it ended up, as everything challenging,
yeah,
it ended up teaching me a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that job did change me a lot.
Wow.
I was very concerned that I was not going to have the guys that I work with.
Sure. Yeah.
to whom I depend on day in and day out.
Yep.
And I ask them to support me in this and that, and I have no doubt that they will do what's expected and more.
Yep.
And going there and working with Frenchmen that I did not know, how am I going to communicate with them? But it ended up being a very positive experience.
I remember you telling me. Dave, you got any of those pictures up there that we have? We can throw some of them up there. And I know the design was pretty cool, and it sounds like this woman architect wanted your expertise from past jobs that she worked with you on, which is probably the biggest kudos, biggest benefit an installer can get. Like, I know I've been on many jobs where the GC has come to the project manager, like a Bob Mandel or a Peter St. G, and say, I want Rui on the job. I want Joel Meter on the job. I want, Al Braz on the job, running that job, because they've had so much success with those gentlemen in the past. Same situation She wanted you on that job because she knew it was going to go perfect. That's great. Here's the project. Dave's got up on the screen here. It's look at the patterns on that floor, and that's what she was really interested in. She wanted perfect lines.
Exactly.
Those are kind of tough to get.
And as you can see, all the radiuses and what you wanted was smooth radiuses,
smooth transitions,
and continuous. What she expected was perfection, and we tried to attain that. I suppose perfection is never really attained, but all we can do is
always achieve,
do our very
always
best.
Try. Yeah,
yes,
always try. And that's that's a great job, and I think it's just a great story, and it's tells a lot about you. And your abilities, and also more of just your abilities, but I think it's the way you go about things. I don't think I've ever heard you raise your voice, which is great. The construction industry is sometimes a loud industry. More so old school, like before, people, superintendents used to yell and scream a lot, but that doesn't achieve anything. Just gets people all riled up. But and I appreciate your demeanor, and I think you're a great leader of men, which is, I think, that's why Jim Burke came to you and said, "Can you do this in 6 weeks?" And you said, "Yes, I can." And Jim knew you could. Which is great. Which is a shout out to you.
And going back to what you were saying, Mike, about the difference that an installer can make with his performance. I have jobs right now that are going on in Boston, in Cambridge, where the foreman that's running those jobs is not because I placed them there, and it's because the customer says, "I want Willie Serrano, I want Felipe,
right.
I want Edivaldo, or I want Pablo Pinto, or Robbie Digmond," and these are individuals that distinguish themselves.
Yep.
In providing, incredible installations, but not only that, their professionalism is extraordinary.
Right.
And I think, Allegheny has a name in the industry, and that's obviously very important. But the ambassadors of Allegheny are also important.
The guys in the field are driving that train.
Exactly.
Absolutely. No, firm believer. That's why I said in the last 10 years of my career was spent in the field, and getting to know these men and working tight with them, and it's been, I thought it was the best part of my career, and which was great. Now, also too on that Paris job, I want you to mention you talked about the architect called you up about a month after your job was done, and I just want to also mention that job in Paris. Jobs like that are going on in Cambridge and Boston today. It wasn't a crazy patent job. It looks beautiful to the layman here, but that's typical of jobs every day. But talk about the you got a call from the woman who was the architect and had a little request for you, didn't she?
That was such a surprise to me. About a month after I received a call, I thought it was maybe something that they weren't really happy with.
No problem, and you hate that
yes.
call, yeah.
But no, she says, Jamie, we're calling you to tell you that we'd like to pay for a vacation for you and your family to wherever you like to take a vacation. If you want to go back to your country, El Salvador, or wherever you want to go, that's your choice. And I try to explain to her that I had been paid well, and that she didn't have to do that. She says, no, it's not that we have to, it's that we want to. Go back to your house, talk to your wife, and then get back to me in the next couple of days. So I went home, I spoke to Alicia, and she says, I'm going to start packing right now.
She's ready to go.
Yes. So we ended up going to Costa Rica for 2 weeks. Incredible vacation.
Wow.
Horse riding. The beaches were incredible.
You took the girls with you too, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Rainforest, landscapes, the mountains,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
Amazing. But like you said before, and I do remember that job as a particular job, obviously. But jobs like that, day in and day out, are being done in Boston and
Sure.
Cambridge,
Yeah.
in Worcester,
Yep.
In New Hampshire,
Yep.
are now ongoing
Today. Yep.
today. And it's so pleasing to hear the customers once we're done with jobs, their comments at how pleased they are, how the job came out, and it's thanks to those guys,
Yeah.
to the crews, particularly those guys running those jobs. Everyone's contribution is super important, but the foremen, they do give that extra.
Right.
Sometimes answering the phone after their working hours, looking at a product, looking at drawings, and planning the next day, right?
Yep.
I know some of the foremen that we have come in early in the morning before the rest of the crew, and are planning their day,
Yep.
their strategy,
Yep.
which is what makes it makes a world of difference.
No, it absolutely does. And this kind of leads us into Wednesday's question.
You want answers?
You want answers? You came to the right place. It's time for Wednesday's question on the Flooring Podcast.
So Wednesday's question today is, how do you make Allegheny separate itself from other contractors? And maybe we've talked about it during this, but how does that happen for Allegheny and you?
It's another challenge, right? It's a challenging thing. As you know, the market is very competitive. But I think the key is really not making it about one person, or about some people, but rather promoting a collaborative effort, a collective effort from the warehouse to purchasing to the new apprentice, right? And my philosophy has always been minimize waste, and that of obviously materials, but also talent,
Time, yeah.
and talent of
And talent,
individuals. Everyone can have great ideas and ways of doing something more efficiently. I have told you how, we would, whenever we would start a project, we would get together as a crew and come up with ideas, hear comments from the different individuals. I think, I can help with the flush cove installations. I can be best at floor prep. I can do better with, and that can make a world of difference. So I think my goal would be to somehow contribute to us collaborating a little more.
Okay.
Because as a company, we have talented individuals, craftsmen, as you mentioned. But I think that collaboration can really make a difference in a company.
I agree, absolutely. All right, now we're getting to the end of our conversation, and I have my 3 famous questions. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
One's always the same, 2 are different. All right.
We got important business before you go. It's Mike's famous 3 questions to finish the show.
All right, Jamie, what's your favorite ice cream?
Coffee.
Coffee. Dave, we've had coffee before, right?
Yes, that is a repeat choice, and I will update the standings in just one moment, Mike.
All right.
Very exciting.
What is your favorite meal to cook?
It's probably steak.
Yeah?
Yes.
On the grill or in the oven or in the stove?
On the grill.
On the grill. You're the steak man of the house, the grill man?
I try to.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And what is your favorite place to vacation? All right. Let's put it this way. Where is your next favorite place to vacation? Where would you like to go that you haven't been?
Oh. I have many destinations in my bucket, Mike. From Spain to Japan to.
Really? You want to go to Japan, huh?
I would love to.
Wow.
I would love to. But even locally, Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine are always among my favorites.
That's great. It's great to hear.
Mike, the Ice Cream Watch continues here on the Flooring Podcast. The Ice Cream Scoreboard reflects the fact that cookies and cream remains at the top of the charts with 4 respondents favoring cookies and cream. However, coffee now moves into second place with Jamie's selection. So well done, coffee. Who knows what will happen next?
Well, Jamie, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. This has been great. What I loved about our podcast was, again, getting to know you better. We've spent a lot of time together in the field, but spending time together here was great and a little more rewarding too. I want you to wish Jose a great retirement. Say hi to him for me. Aiden was hadn't done a lot of work with him, but Felipe has installed probably as much V1200 as anybody in New England, and we had some great jobs with him. He's a great guy. Say hi to him for me.
Thank you.
And anytime any of you guys have questions, my phone is always open to any of you, and I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it.
Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being a terrific guest, Jamie, on the Flooring Podcast. We thank all of our listeners. You can find the Flooring Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you find your pods. We'll see you next time on the Flooring Podcast.